Cardinals, and they're taking on the Dodgers right now. You may have heard, you may have saw. So yesterday, we discussed this before the game. Did you want Albert Pujols to hit a home run? And, of course, if you're a Cardinals fan, do you want him to hit a home run in a Cardinals victory? Probably. But that was pretty dang cool.
Yes, it
right?
was.
And it was almost, I'm not saying it was expected that he'd do it in the first at-bat. But knowing that he was going to get, and will still, he'll get 2 starts versus left-handers. He absolutely crushes left-handers this year, where his OPS was something like 954 before yesterday, before he hits another home run. You just figured Albert was going to hit one of them out. And the fact that he did it first inning and after the ovation, that's storybook type stuff.
But that's what happens to players like that. That's what happens. That's what happens when big-time players go back and they play against their former team. You know, they put a show on. Something always happens. They're going to go, they'll get the hat trick, or they'll get the game winner, or they'll score on a penalty shot. It just happens. And when you're that good and you've put that much work in and you've done so much for this city, that's like the good karma in baseball, too, comes back at you, and you're going to hit a dinger, and people are going to go crazy, whether you play for this team or not. I thought that was really cool. And we called it.
Jimmy Ballgame?
It is awesome to see. It is, look, you can use storybook. I was hoping, because I got home from work here, and I got to make sure I don't miss the first at bat for Pujols. And I just, after that, I don't care what happens. And you see it and you go. You just put a smile on your face and you go, man, that is awesome. And you knew it was coming. I mean, I did. I just said, watch out. It's coming. And he did what he did, and he does what he does, and you just can't help but smile. It's unfortunate we didn't have 35,000 plus actually in the stands, because there would have been a curtain call. There wasn't enough people for a curtain call, but there would have been one.
So what was that? So what do you mean by that? Like, there wasn't.
There just wasn't enough. I mean, if there was 34,000 people actually in the stadium, they would have not allowed the next pitch to go before he would have come out for a curtain call. That's just the way that would have happened.
They didn't try to do it with that. They didn't try to do it?
There just wasn't enough people.
So, funny story along those lines. By the way, so I was at Busch yesterday for pregame. So I do live shots for Fox 2, 520, 620. I did want to stay. I wanted to see the first at bat. Now, we did this 2 years ago with the Angels, so it's still cool, but we were there 2 years ago. And I always park at patios. Shout out to patios.
Yeah.
And I always tell those guys, I love those guys, I'll leave before the game starts so you can use my parking spot, right? So I wanted to hold up my end of the bargain. So I didn't stay for Albert's at bat. So I'm walking out right about, let's say, 6:30-ish. And a lot of people are coming in. I think another part of this is that you have these 6:45 starts where that will sneak up on you a little bit. Just now, we know there's been a lot of 6:45 starts, but it's also ingrained into people's minds that it's usually 7:15.
Yes.
So that was the at-bat you didn't want to miss, though.
I know.
The third at-bat of the game is Albert hitting his dinger. But I was talking to my buddy. He was in there with his family, and he's like, "Are you in the ballpark?" And I said, "No, I actually left before the game starts." He goes, "Dude," so I knew it was 6:45. We roll in. We go to this parking lot. For whatever reason, something didn't work, like his vehicle didn't fit in the spot, and then he tried to back out. The attendant wasn't letting him. It caused a whole thing.
Oh, God.
Everybody behind him is mad. People are honking. Oh. He's got 2 kids. Brad, if you're listening, love you, buddy. He's all pissed off, and then he misses the homer.
Oh.
He's like, I got in right afterwards. I'm hearing the cheers from outside the ballpark.
Was he driving a big truck and he tried to squeeze into a Geo Metro size?
It was something
lot?
like either he went in, they didn't take credit card or whatever it was, and then so people are behind him. He's
didn't take credit card?
Cam, I don't know the exact. I'm saying that he had to back out, and there was a big thing because people are behind him. Everybody's ticked off, and he missed the home run.
They had to all back up.
I'm like, dude, just start drinking right now.
That's awful.
Tell your wife she's driving. Start drinking some beers.
Yeah, dude. Rob Dibbles chimes in and goes, "Did Yachty tip that pitch?"
No.
You don't think so?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't. I know that's kind of a fun.
I don't care if he did either.
I don't care.
He went down and got that ball. It did. It wasn't an absolute wall scraper, but it was a low line drive that just. And it's not easy to hit homers at Busch, as we know.
Not.
No.
I don't think that Yachty would do that in this sense. First of all, I don't know if he would ever do that. Now, if it was the last at bat of Albert's career, we have heard stories where the pitcher and the catcher, if the game doesn't matter, there's a lot of famous baseball players that get a home run or a hit in their final at bat because they want that ceremonial goodbye. And the pitcher, if it doesn't matter, they will groove them a nice so juicy fastball.
What would say they did to Derek Jeter? What would they do, the big dogs, to the pitcher? Say it's a young kid who's just closing the game out or whatever, or first, just a rookie. What would you give him? Like if you had that agreement, you're Albert Pujols, you talk to the pitcher at your last game, and the pitcher's like, well, I got to, my ERA's this. Like, this is not going to be great on my resume here, but for you, I'm going to do it.
Who cares about your resume, kid? Shut up and do it.
Well, he does. He does, and maybe the coaching staff does, and it's going to trickle down of it. So what is Albert going to give that pitcher?
Well, again, we're talking hypothetically here.
Yes.
If this is game 162, let's say it's Jake Woodford. Let's say it's just some random reliever. That's if you give up a solo homer to Albert Pujols in game 162, his final at bat, or a double, that's not gonna hurt you. It's not gonna hurt your numbers that much. It's not gonna hurt your career.
I get the question. I don't care, but I'll say this: Alex Reyes gave a better batting practice fastball last night than J Happ did. So I mean, it was like, oh, okay, can't fault the guy for crushing that one.
The other thing is,
I'd give him a car. If that was Albert.
Well, it depends on the car. But, that'd be a nice gift. You still have to hit it. You still have to hit it. That's what always surprised me sometimes. You can have the best pitchers in baseball. The best pitchers in baseball can give up an 8 spot in 2 innings. Now, it could be pitch tipping. Look at Genesis Cabrera. He gave up 6 straight hits the other day. That's a lockdown reliever. Some of the best pitchers in baseball, you can have a bad night. All of a sudden, you're giving up 7 runs, which surprised me sometimes. Why the position players come in and they get a 1-2-3 inning. I just think when a position player pitches, it's so in the head of the batter. Oh my God, I can't strike out against this dude. Because the game's already about 12-1.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
Yes.
But you want your stats, you want your batting average, and also you're facing a different type of pitch. These guys are throwing eephoses. They're throwing 86, right?
Yeah.
They have weird mechanics. Everybody's kind of laughing, right? Everybody's laughing kind of. So you're trying to be serious, but in your head, please, dude, if you strike out against a position player, what do you think the kangaroo court is going to find you in the clubhouse?
Oh, you're getting beaked, not just with the boys. ESPN, everybody's going to be all over you, man.
Here's a good example. Cam, did you ever play in a game where you faced one of those emergency backup goalies? Ever?
Nah.
Okay, but here's a good example. What if your star, wasn't it Patrick Laine? Didn't he have a shot and the backup emergency guy from the Blackhawks made a save?
Oh, yeah.
All I'm saying is, if you're a stud all-star player and you shoot on the emergency backup,
Austin Matthews.
Okay, in a 6-1 game, what are the boys doing to that guy in the dressing room?
If you get robbed by the goalie?
If you are an all-star 35 goal scorer, and in the final period,
you get a
breakaway, you get stopped by the guy who is stacking the shelves.
Oh, they're going to be all over you. But at that point, if you lose the game, just like Toronto did to David Ayers with Carolina, and Toronto goes out there and they had 2 periods, basically, Jimmy, right? 2 periods or period and a half.
Yeah.
And David Ayers is in there, and they're ripping pucks. Paul Stastny goes down. Ayers makes a big save on Paulie Stastny. God, I'm getting him confused with a couple other guys. But the point is, if you do that and you have a power play and this guy's just robbing you, like the boy's going to be on you, but the whole team's pissed at each other. You lost a game against a Zamboni driver. I don't give a damn if your superstars miss or not. The whole team looks embarrassed.
So what'd you guys think when Yachty gets the single and he's pushing Albert? They're playing, they're hand tapping, they're hugging. At one point, Stubby Clapp even had to pull Yachty back like, hey, we got to play the game here. I know he's your buddy. Yeah. But when you see that, Yachty's coming back with a contract, by the way. Adam Wainwright officially announces on YouTube with his family, everybody wants him to come back, so he's playing. Clearly the Cardinals are going to give him a deal. I would think they give him a deal before this season ends. Who knows? He should get a nice little raise. He's had a hell of a year.
Yes, he has.
But knowing Yachty's back with the Cardinals, knowing Waino's coming back and most likely with the Cardinals, when you see Albert Pujols out there playing hand
Hand
fun with Yadier Molina.
Oh, no.
Knowing how much those guys are brothers, how tight they are. I mean, doesn't everything point towards an Albert 2022 DH final hurrah
That's cool
to hopefully hit 700 homers? It just feels like it's going in that direction.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I just think that you got to do a lot more things. That's going to be cute and funny, but, you got to win ball games, too. Jimmy,
There's a lot of truth in that. Yeah, look, Albert's not going to help you win the playoff spot that you need that you're not going to get this year. There's no doubt about that. It'll be a awesome season to have those three, finish out. It'd be a fairy tale season, but in terms of being competitive, you got to do more than that. And by the way, Stubby Clapp, just shut up and leave him alone. You got 2 Hall of Famers there. Don't tell them what to do.
I agree with that.
You know what?
Yeah.
Anybody that says anything, you got 2 Hall of Famers. 2.
Yes.
Let them do whatever the hell they want. Leave them alone.
They've done enough.
They've respected the game long enough. They've never disrespected the game. Everything will be fine.
I agree with you on that. And I like Stubby, man. He's a cool cat.
Yeah. That's just
Canadian.
Like, just leave them do their thing,
boy.
man.
There's 2 parts to the Albert 2022 conversation, though. There's the baseball part, which we all know. You can't bat him versus right-handers. He's not good against righties. Yep. However, he is still a legit weapon against lefties. So as a DH, you don't want him probably DHing every game, but you start him versus any lefty next year. He can be a valuable bat off the bench, again, in situations where you're facing a lefty. He's not going to get that much money. Okay, and the other part of this is it's not just ceremonial in terms of the fact, look, Albert can be a legit weapon against lefties, but you're also trying to sell tickets. And if it's the last hurrah of the 3 amigos of Waino, Yachty, and Albert towards the end of the year is pushing 700 homers, you're telling me that place will not be packed for everybody wanting to see Albert hit number
100%.
700?
So it's either one or the other here, or both.
Well, it can be both.
It could be both, but it's got to be something.
It basically, it serves 2 different masters.
Selling tickets and bringing people in is like the main objective right now. And whether you sign a big guy like Jose Rondon, somebody chimes in, Splashback chimes in, if you sign Albert, where's he going to be? Whatever the case is, like you need to get better, but you also need, if you have a chance to do something unique and different, to bring some sort of positive attention to this organization, because it's not been great. And you can't even get a curtain call because there's not that many people there. That has got to change, and it's got to change quick. So whatever you have to do with that, bringing Albert back, then do it.